Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our conference today. Happy World Children's Day to everyone. The reason we chose this date is precisely because it is World Teachers Day, and we want to gather together to celebrate that, and to have so many of you here with us today is fabulous. I gather some people may have had some technical difficulties in joining. If you've not been admitted into the conference, or if you've struggled to get in, please just double check the link that's been used. If you've joined and you're receiving all the production side of the event, please leave that and use the other link. And I gather an email has been sent out to make sure that everybody's in the right place. So apologies for a slightly disjointed start, but it's great to have everyone with us today. This is our second annual conference. I'm Martin Russell. I'm the Programme Director for the Rights Respect Schools Award. I've been on the team now for just over 11 years. It's fantastic to have you all with us today. We're being joined by nursery school and college and school staff from all 4 nations of the UK today, as well as from Guernsey and Jersey. And we're also joined by colleagues in numerous local authorities and from the Scottish Government. And I'm very pleased to extend a warm welcome also to a number of UNICEF colleagues from other countries who deliver child rights education and various forms of child rights school programmes similar to Rights Respecting. So it's great to have you all with us today, and I hope you're able to spend as much time as you can. We recognise the busyness of everyone's life, especially those who are in schools. And if you can stay for the whole day, that will be absolutely fabulous. But we know some people can only be with us for part, but we really hope that you'll enjoy all that you experience with us today. If you'll bear with me, there are a few sort of practical and technical things to mention to everybody as we begin. So if I can just go through a few of those, and thank you for your patience. We're on a platform called Teams Live, and we do that to allow a really large audience, and we do have over 600 people signed up to be with us today. So you're part of a really large gathering, which is fabulous. The downside of that, it's not quite as interactive as your normal Teams or Zoom experience. However, we do have a question and answer function, and we'd love you to be using that throughout the day, not just to post questions, but it'd be great if you could just comment as we go along as well. What you'll notice is that the things you post in that Q&A function won't appear immediately, and 2 of our team are pulling all your comments together and perhaps sometimes grouping a question or looking for common themes. They'll publish as much as they possibly can throughout the day, but we know when it comes to the end of each conference session and there are lots of questions, please forgive us in advance if your question doesn't actually get posted. There may not be time to see them all, but hopefully that Q&A function will give you a little bit of interactivity throughout the course of the day. For accessibility, Teams Live does have a transcription and translation function, so those who need to use that, please do so. Typically, the connections are usually good, but if you do have a problem, if there's a glitch, use the default setting of leaving and rejoining. If that doesn't work after a couple of times, do please get in touch with our central team colleagues who will do their very best to help you out. And it's our standard email, rrsa@unicef.org.uk, and they'll do their very best to get you back up and running again. We're recording all the sessions throughout today, so if you do miss part of the content, within the next few days, we'll publish that to you and it'll be available on our website. In addition to the Q&A function, we're also going to use another little bit of interactivity throughout the day on a platform called Menti. So there'll be 3 or 4 times through the conference where you'll get a chance to sort of respond immediately in real time and be part of what's going on. So we're going to do the first of those in a moment. Our day today is themed around celebrating change through children's rights. Now, many of you, most of you, I'm sure, have seen the change that becoming rights respecting brings. We all know that the power of the Convention on the Rights of the Child transforms relationships between children and adults. It makes adults reframe and rethink how we see children. And the challenges that come with that are what bring about the change. And really throughout today, in various ways, we're going to celebrate that change and think about it and be, I hope, inspired to continue working with children's rights to bring about that difference. So we'd like to pose a question as we begin our day together, and this will be a Menti question. There'll be a link for you to engage with this and respond. Have a think about your practice in school, and being a rights respecting school, which most of you with us today are, what change does that bring about for your community? What 3 words sum up the impact of being a rights respecting school? So you can join Menti there if you can access menti.com, either on the device you're on now in a separate window, or on a phone or parallel device. Use the code number that's posted there, 51557716, and you'll join the platform where this question can be answered. So it'd be fantastic to start to see in a few seconds your responses. Rights respecting makes a difference. We know that, our research knows that, the reports that we write for you hopefully highlight the difference that your work makes for children. But it would be great to sort of bring that together through this Menti question this morning and sort of set the scene for our day together and get us thinking about why it is that we're all so committed to becoming a rights respecting school. So here we get some fantastic responses coming through. I'm seeing joy, I'm seeing relationships, empowered, collaboration, impact, fantastic, citizenship. I'm not going to be able to read them all out, I don't think. Voice is up there and strong. Global outlook, just being happy, children having fun, being safe. Dignity, great to see the word dignity there. Empowerment's growing, respect is growing. This is fabulous. We're going to give this a good few seconds more to get everybody joining in. So hopefully you found the Menti link and it's looking pretty lively. So thank you for that. Amazing. Awareness, understanding, inclusion. What a picture we're painting of the sort of education that we would all want our children to have. This is superb. Be great if we can find a way of capturing this perhaps and publishing it on the website, because it's a really powerful indicator of what rights respecting is all about. Thank you so much for engaging so actively with this so early in our day together. Fantastic. It's moving so quickly, it's difficult to read them all. Collaboration is coming up strongly. Respect is there right in the middle. We've got relationships, awareness, citizenship, knowledge. Super. That's really, really impressive. Thanks everyone so much. Just give you a moment to perhaps try to absorb some of the things, because there's a lot to take in there and a lot to read. One I've not mentioned that I just spotted then was confidence, and how often we see that when we have the privilege of engaging with you in accreditation visits, whether it's online or in person. We see incredibly confident and self-assured children and young people. Teamwork, they're coming together, collaboration. Excellent. Oh, rights is there as well. That's very reassuring to see the word rights in it. Fantastic. Right, it would appear we've had 460 responses to that, which is absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So we will try to capture this and share it. I think I mentioned we are recording the day, so it might be something you can go back to and have a look at, but it's certainly worth us sharing if we can on separate channels. So thank you for all your instant contributions to that. Really great to see. I'm going to move us on, if that's okay, as the Menti is continuing to fill up. I want to just share a few thoughts that set the scene really for our day together. This theme of celebrating change through children's rights is a really, I hope, a unifying theme for the day, and you'll see the connection between the different segments of the day and the different contributions that our speakers will make. But I just want to share with you a few changes that there have been and developments since our conference just 12 months ago. Firstly, we've had over 600 new schools joining the programme. We now have our membership scheme up and running, and people can access the membership and all the privileges that come with the membership. Our training has never been as busy. There is huge demand for accreditation visits, so do get booked in. So 600 new schools, over 800 accreditations at bronze, silver and gold. So the team have been incredibly busy, and so have you, making those accreditation visits such a positive experience. So thank you for all your work that goes on to make that happen in the background, because we know the preparation that people put into it is really significant. Later this afternoon in our final session, we hope to be able to name check all the schools that have achieved silver and gold since our conference last year. Another change that many of you will be aware of is that our wonderful Article of the Week resource has been quietly archived. It's still there for you. Every article of the convention through to Article 42 is represented in the Article of the Week resource, and it's there on our website for you to use. But our regular communication to you now has become our monthly Spotlight resource. And we've got a short session this afternoon in which Helen will talk through why we've set up Spotlight and how we hope that it will really help you and you'll be able to use it. On a personal note, a change within the team is that I've taken over as Programme Director from Frances Bestley, who had led the team for the previous 12 years. Frances, I'm very pleased to say, is still with UNICEF UK, and she now oversees not just RRSA, but our other two UK programmes, the Baby Friendly Initiative and our work with child-friendly cities and communities. So Frances is still very much part of our wider team and bringing her influence to bear on those other really important pieces of work that UNICEF does within the UK. Something else that we've been working on as a team this year is a new video. Many of you will be familiar with the video content that we produced back in 2018 to promote the programme. It's been available there on our website. You've probably seen clips of it shared in training. And we really loved that video, but the truth is some of those children and young people who took part are now many years older, and it really was time for us to renew that content and start afresh. Now, as we began the project, UNICEF UK has been taking on a challenge to really live out the CRC even more fully in practice. And you can imagine as an organisation, there are many, many films and videos made, many occasions when the voice of children is caught on film, on video. And we've really asked ourselves, how can we be more child-centred in that? Rather than adults deciding what we want children to say, that children should really speak, it should be their voice that's heard, and to really bring Article 12 to life. So as an organisation, we've been trying very, very hard to apply that principle in all pieces of media and communications in which children and young people have been involved. So for our piece of work in creating a new video, we had to accept that challenge and go with that. And you can perhaps imagine that handing over control isn't as easy as it might seem. We had a limited budget. We knew we had a message we wanted to get across. Would the children say the right thing? Would they be giving out the message that we want to give out? We had to stand back and we had to really challenge ourselves to say, actually, let's trust children and young people to tell the story their way. So we had a really powerful programme involving facilitation. The schools welcomed our team in. They gave time for the children to actually get to know the crew who were there and to really own the whole production process. We're delighted with the outcome, and we wanted to use our conference today as an opportunity to premiere for the first sort of public viewing of our new RRSA video. So I'm very pleased to be able to share it with you now. So hopefully in the coming seconds, the video will appear, and it lasts about 7 or 8 minutes. So please sit back, grab a cup of coffee if you've got one nearby, and enjoy. Here we go.
What we're going to do, we're going to be here, and then we're going to slide in front of the camera and say we have rights, like this. We have rights.
And we're making a film to kind of show what rights respecting is all about.
I really like this.
Ready?
Learning about everyone else's rights makes a positive difference to our school.
Rights respecting school means that they make sure everyone has their rights, like every child and every adult.
Scene 1, take 1, action. Why do you care about rights?
Because understanding your rights gives you lots of power, and it means that you can change your life when you understand your rights.
Right respecting schools and all the articles ensure that young people in the school community can have their voices heard, that they know that they are respected and valued as part of the school community. And we're really embedding that now from policies to our pupil parliament and right across and trying to embed it within the school curriculum.
The ABCD rights are really important in our everyday life, so it's really easy to remember.
Scene 1, take 5, action.
These are our ABCD of rights. Ras, will you take the lead? Rights are for all children, which is A. B is rights are there at birth. C is rights cannot be taken away. D is rights do not have to be earned. And E is all rights are equal.
What difference does learning about children's rights make to the whole school?
It changes the whole structure of the school, and it changes the way our staff perceive teaching and learning. I think the most important thing about the Rights Respecting Schools programme is the journey to the Gold Award. It has changed the way the school works and operates. It has really added a formal voice to the children.
Scene 3, take 1. This room is kind of where our whole rights respecting happened. So at the beginning there was about 4 of us, and now it's expanded to maybe 30.
It has just grown and grown, and to the point where this classroom is not enough and we're moving into this project room.
Before we were a rights respecting school, I would say I wasn't part of any clubs. I wasn't part of anything really in this school, and I joined rights respecting, and everything just kind of opened up.
What I like best about being a rights respecting school is that the teachers listen.
Scene 2, take 1, action.
Why do you think that it is important that adults listen to children?
Children often see things that adults miss or don't understand.
Let's go through this one.
And you know what? I think it's really important that adults don't forget what it was like when they were children.
I feel like young people are always going to have different perspectives.
I really hope adults listen to this and understand that it's really important for their kids to learn about their rights.
You all have to listen to other people.
So when we're older, we'll have some of our ideas there, some of our own inventions, some of our own there. Do you know what I mean?
It is incredible what a 5-year-old who knows about their rights can stand up and say. And you think if at 5 they can do that, what can they do when they're 10, the 15, the 20? And it can really create those future leaders for our society.
What are the changes you have seen before we was rights respecting school?
I think when you think about rights respecting, it's all about culture. And what I've just really noticed is a huge change in the culture of the school. We are such an empathetic school. I think you see real acts of kindness. I think we're an incredibly supportive school. Everyone wants to help each other, and I think that's largely been due to us adopting the rights respecting school framework.
Scene 2, take 1.
I'm gonna climb up the tree. I see children joining in with other people, letting people play. I also see children knowing their boundaries on privacy and everything.
My favourite thing in school is probably like the right to relax and play, because without it, it would just be a boring world with nothing to do.
What were your first steps on the rights respecting journey?
We do a lot of advocacy work in our school. You have a lot of opportunity to campaign. You campaigned for a mural for Betty Campbell.
Roll 2, scene 1, take 1, action. Betty Campbell was the first black head teacher of Wales.
As you come in the school, you probably saw a very big mural on the wall of Betty Campbell. As she was first black head teacher in Wales, the children here are very interested in that. So they wrote me some letters as chair governors. They then came and presented to the governing body, and the mural outside the school was one of the tangible outcomes.
How has it helped with the relationships with staff and people?
We're a special needs school. We've got a diverse range of young people.
This is our feeling safe box. What this is, it's like if you're feeling like rather annoyed, sad or mad or something, like you just post this in our vice principal, Mr. Mack, he'll read it.
It has to do with the Article 19 to be safe.
The rights respecting school has really strengthened the relationships between the pupils and the staff.
I think it really, really makes my job easier, because I think the children want to be here more. They realise the power of education. They realise I'm not just choosing to stand at the front and talk about grammar.
My favourite right is the right to an education.
It's just like nice. I'm not got any better way to describe it, but there's really good like staff and people like relationships, and I feel so comfortable and like welcomed in the school.
Why do you think it's important for people to feel included in this school?
The kids have as much right to that respect that I get to know them as people did that are paying £100 for a meal sort of thing.
I think it transforms children into mindful citizens that are aware of what their basic human needs are and what they should be accessing. So as they grow older, they're mindful of what they should be given access to, but they also are able to fight for the rights of other children. So by being a rights respecting school, we're transforming them into global citizens where they're aware of world issues and issues that affect all children.
I know that our rights respecting team have been really fantastic at linking those rights and working out which rights do fit into our visions and values, and that awareness across the school has built and grown a lot over the last couple of years too.
Scene 3, take 1, in the library.
Sounds like Pluto in the library with the clapboard.
We have lots of books here, which, as you can see, gives us the right to find out and share information. I feel really safe, calm and relaxed.
It's a safe space, I would say, so it's important to the students that they have that space.
Why should other schools become rights respecting?
I think it gives a really good framework. You need to see that you have a voice, that you can be agents of change, and that is what the framework gives you.
Best decision I think we made as a school.
Every school should be a rights respecting school. We shouldn't be denying some children the opportunity of being part of this incredible experience.
I think a lot of people think they know about children's rights, and I think that's a misconception.
It really, I think, could have a transformative effect on our society if everybody learned about human rights and using their voice from an early age.
I think every single school should be a rights respecting school.
I can honestly say the worst thing about this school is everywhere you turn there's an article, but it's pretty good if that's the worst thing.
I feel that I have had the opportunity to be part of creating a really special community, and I think it will stay with these children for the rest of their life. I think they will remember being loved and being respected and being empowered, and I'm going to cry if I talk about that too much. I think the ripple effect of how we treat children now, I think will go through their lives, and to be part of that is just the most incredible opportunity.
Since we're so proud of it, we want you guys to be proud too, so we want you guys to become part of the rights respecting, and I think that would be fantastic because it just creates a bigger community.
And cut! Ta-da!
Wow. I really hope you enjoyed that as much as all the people who were involved in making it clearly were enjoying themselves. Thanks to a couple of people who've already posted in the Q&A their reactions. If others would like to just comment or respond or share a thought or two via the Q&A in response to our video, that would be really fantastic. So we look forward to seeing what you have to say. I certainly felt watching our video that it resonated so powerfully with everything that we have the privilege of seeing as a team when we visit schools and engage with you across each school year. What I thought came through really powerfully was the sense of joy that comes with being a rights respecting school, and the power of the relationships and the interactions and the real sense of community. All of that resonated very, very powerfully with me. And I think my initial reservations, if I'm very honest, about just saying, here's this opportunity, hand it over to the children, I was genuinely quite trepidatious, shall we say. But actually, the outcome is absolutely incredible. And I think a big lesson to me that actually, as we always deep down know, the children's ideas, the children's perspective needs to be absolutely front and centre. And that's really summing up for us what RRSA is all about. You know that because you're doing it every day. This experience of creating the video was a bit of a reminder to me, and it really made me think. So thank you particularly to all the children and young people who are involved and the staff who gave up huge chunks of school time to make this happen. The 4 schools involved were Longstone School just outside Belfast, Balerno High in Edinburgh, Mount Stewart in Cardiff, and Plymouth Grove, not very far from where I'm based. Plymouth Grove is close to the centre of Manchester. So thanks and huge recognition and appreciation to all of those school communities. And I hope they're feeling very proud of their efforts and what they were able to create for us and with us. So the video will become available very, very soon on our website. We would love you to use it. Share it within your own school community as a celebration of what you're about. All those voices of children could be your children's voices. There is a huge sort of commonality of messaging that I think almost every rights respecting school can really relate to. So do use it internally, but we would love it particularly if you can share it with schools who are maybe interested in RRSA, who've asked you questions, who've said, well, what's it really about? Please share the video with them. Please use it in any opportunity you have to spread the word and promote the amazing work that you do about children's rights. We're going to move in the next few minutes now to the first of the main sessions of the day, but I just want to give you a quick overview of the themes and the strands of our conference today. Firstly, or rather later this morning, we're going to focus on a great story of change, of how RRSA has changed in Scotland from a relatively small number of schools 10, 12 years ago to growing to the point of being hugely influential within Scottish education. So we'll hear about that from a colleague from Scottish Education, Maxine Jolly. Then after lunch, we'll hear a really powerful example of young people in a school recognising the need for change, change in how they relate to each other, change with safeguarding in their school. And we'll explore that together with a colleague from UNICEF, and then we will hear from the school that has really led on this work. And then following that, we're going to focus on children as change makers and think about the power of campaigning. And we'll hear from one of our colleagues at UNICEF UK who heads up our campaigning work. But then we'll hear some powerful and really impressive, inspiring examples from a couple of schools that have really embraced the idea of campaigning. Later this afternoon, then we'll have a panel of colleagues, 2 of whom are from the schools that you've just seen featured in our video. And there'll be an opportunity to ask questions. I'll lead that panel, asking questions that I want to explore with 4 practitioners from Gold Rights Respecting Schools. But again, we'd like you to use the Q&A and hear your thoughts, your comments, your questions for our panelists. And then we'll hear a little bit about Spotlight, as I mentioned before, and then bring the day to a close. And those of you who can and are able to stay with us or join us for that final session, you will hopefully see all the accredited schools throughout 2023. And we also have a very special message for you, which we'll save as a little surprise towards the end of the day. So into our first session, just to share a thought really of what we're all about at UNICEF. As a global organisation, we are about change for children. As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon when you can use it to change the world. And that's the business that we're all in. So to begin our day, I would really like to hand over now to my colleague Isabel, who's going to introduce our first speaker. And I'll join you again later. Thank you.